Consider Route 1 Fusion for your dealership's digital retailing. Customers can build vehicle financing options online with estimated payments, trade-ins, and you can even showcase optional protection products. Faster process, elevated sales, more satisfied customers. Visit route1.com/fusion to connect for a demo today.
Welcome to Daily Drive for Thursday, April 23rd, 2026. I'm Kellen Walker in Las Vegas. Today on the show, Toyota shows off its new AI vision system as it tries to catch up with China. Automakers are chasing the wrong segments, says Boston Consulting Group. And Tesla says the Roadster will be its only human-driven car long-term. Plus, Frank McKenna of Point Predictive talks about protecting your dealership from AI-powered website cloning scams.
Some of these dealerships that have been hit with this scam have experienced consumers walking into the dealership demanding, "Where's my car? I wire transferred you $40,000 and I never got it."
Let's run through all the news you need to know to keep up in the auto industry. Toyota is showing off a new artificial intelligence system at Woven City, their experimental testing ground near Mount Fuji. The AI vision engine works like this. Cameras and sensors capture what's happening around them. Then the system uses AI to figure out what it all means, spotting potential dangers and predicting what happens next. Toyota wants to build this into their driver assist features. Here's why it matters. Chinese automakers have jumped way ahead in AI-powered cars. Toyota and other legacy automakers are scrambling to close that gap. Automakers are having a harder time figuring out what to build. Federal policies keep changing, tariffs shake up the math on imports, and bets on electric vehicles haven't always paid off, leading to billions in write-downs. Boston Consulting Group says there's a smarter play. Stop crowding into the same segments everyone else is chasing, like large pickups and mass-market EVs. Instead, find the gaps, the so-called white spaces, where you can be first and face fewer rivals. Managing Director Eric Jesse puts it simply: get there first and customers stick with you. Show up late and you're just another option. You can hear an interview with Jesse on the upcoming episode of the Automotive News Shift podcast. And Tesla is moving toward a fully autonomous lineup with one exception. CEO Elon Musk says the second-generation Roadster will be its only manually driven car long-term. Musk said on the automaker's earnings call on Wednesday that the Cybercab robotaxi has started production and is Tesla's promised compact car. Here to talk more about it is our own Lawrence Iliff, who covers Tesla and other EV makers for us at Automotive News. Lonnie, welcome back to Daily Drive.
Great to be here.
All right, Lonnie, what's the thinking here? Why make the Roadster Tesla's only human-driven car?
Well, Elon Musk has always said we don't make slow cars. And the whole point of Tesla was to make fun, fast, sexy electric cars, and that was going to make people buy them. And that's exactly what happened. And so that's always been part of the DNA. The first Roadster, if you remember, was their first car back in 2008. And it was, to sell the brand as this kind of fun, funky thing. And all the people from LA and all the famous people and all the tech guys bought them. Now, we're going through a different phase with Elon Musk where it's all about autonomy. It's all about scaling. It's all about, many, many millions of robo-taxis. And so he says he's going to move the whole lineup to autonomy, right? So, the new Cybercab, which is in production, will be a robo-taxi either later this year or next year. Does not have a steering wheel. It does not have pedals. It does not have all-wheel drive. It does not have a powerful motor. And so this is the new direction. And with the new Roadster, he's basically saying it's kind of a last hurrah. They first showed it in 2017, and they've been delaying it. They've been saying it may fly with thrusters from SpaceX. Elon Musk said on Joe Rogan last year that it might be a flying car. And he's promising this like crazy demo as early as May, which makes me think like June, July, August.
Now, this news comes out of Tesla's latest earnings call, What were your other big takeaways?
Yeah, it was also interesting that, Elon Musk finally confirmed that older cars built before 2023, which is not that old, that have a certain hardware package called Hardware 3 will not be able to be autonomous. And that's kind of wild because he's been promising for 10 years every Tesla built will be autonomous, right? He said that over and over again. And so now millions of people who bought the cars who maybe thought they were become autonomous, maybe they didn't. It's probably, less than millions of people who are dying to have an autonomous car, but he said they would. And so now he's saying that people with the Hardware 3 package, the older package of cameras and computer, will be able to get some kind of a bonus if they trade into the newer cars, which have the Hardware 4 package. Or he even suggested that Tesla would set up micro factories in regional parts of the United States, and people would come in and get their Hardware 3 cars retrofitted to Hardware 4 cars. But it may not be everybody. It may only be people who bought the full self-driving software, which cost anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000. So it's kind of a mess, because that promise was made and now they can't keep it.
Interesting stuff. Lonnie, thank you so much for joining me.
Okay, great to be here.
And those are today's headlines. You can find more details on all those stories at autonews.com. Coming up, Point Predictive's Frank McKenna talks about how dealerships can protect themselves from AI-powered website cloning scams. That's next on Daily Drive.
Route One Fusion is an expanded digital retail solution built to enhance your dealership's customer engagement and improve the results of your online efforts. Many customers expect a fast, online-friendly experience and prefer clarity early in the process, especially if they have a vehicle to trade. So ask yourself, are your current digital retailing tools helping shoppers understand their trade-in value and helping your team move deals forward faster? With a subscription to Fusion, you can benefit from its trade-in valuation feature that empowers customers to estimate the value of their current vehicle early in the process. This helps customers arrive in-store better prepared, make expectations around payments and equity more realistic, and move conversations and decisions faster. The result is higher quality leads, more productive interactions, and a smoother transition from online to in-store. And trade-in valuation is just one example of how Route One Fusion can expand your digital retail experience. Fusion also supports other features that include appointment scheduling so customers can view your availability and book a time. Pre-qualification tools with subscription provide quick, credit-based payment options, and production product presentations allow you to present products earlier to help customers explore their options. Schedule a personalized demo to see how Fusion can help generate more opportunities from your online traffic. Visit routeone.com/fusion to connect with Route One today.
Welcome back to Daily Drive. I'm Kellen Walker. Scammers are using artificial intelligence to clone dealership websites, and it's getting harder to spot the fakes. These fraudulent sites can damage a dealership's reputation and cost customers money. Frank McKenna is chief strategist at Point Predictive, an anti-fraud technology company. He spoke with Automotive News retail reporter Paige Hodder about how these AI cloning scams work and what dealerships can do to protect themselves.
Today, I'm really interested in this new type of scam that you recently put a report out about, which is these fake dealership websites. So, your report goes into a lot of detail, but can you give me kind of an overview of how this works?
Yeah, what this new scam is, I think it's kind of a harbinger of things to come. This is the use of artificial intelligence to essentially deepfake car dealerships online. So what they'll do is they'll prop up websites that are meant to look like real car dealerships or real tractor sites or heavy machinery sites that are filled with fake listings for really nice cars or tractor equipment or heavy machinery priced at prices that are just too good to be true. And when consumers come upon these sites online, they're convinced that the cars and the tractors or the muscle cars are actually real, and they're convinced to send wire transfers to scammers who are based in Russia and other countries. with the promise that they're going to get these cars shipped to them, but the cars never arrive. And they're typically out anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 that they've wire transferred to scammers. So it's a new trend that started to really erupt last year, and we're seeing a lot more activity now from this.
So why do you think like dealerships and heavy machinery is this like category of website they're creating?
I think they're targeting this category of websites because it's not unusual for consumers to get unusual, muscle cars or luxury cars or tractor equipment or heavy machinery shipped to them online. It's not something you may go down the street and just go to any dealership. You're typically going to have to go to a specialty dealership, which is not in your area. So the consumers are quite used to shopping for these types of cars and machinery online, and they're big ticket items. So from a scammer's perspective, they can prop up one of these AI websites, and it's realistic to think that as a consumer, you'd have to prepay to get that car shipped to you. That's why I think that the industry is being targeted, is because it's quite normal for this activity to occur.
Yeah. So how sophisticated are these websites, and how much work does it take to put one together?
Websites are fairly sophisticated in the way they look, and they're sophisticated because they're all created with artificial intelligence based upon templates that the fraudsters and scammers have created. So when you look at the website, it's going to look like a great front page. They're going to have all sorts of listings. They're going to even have customer reviews. They're going to have video testimonials about how great the experience was. They're going to have pictures of the staff, lots of pictures of the car. So it's going to look very sophisticated and real. But behind the scenes, these websites are spun up in literally minutes by these scammers who have all of the AI technology to make it happen. So we've seen these websites come online and go offline in a matter of minutes, hours, or days. So it's quite alarming how fast it's growing and how easy it is for them to do this.
So that's another thing you highlighted in the report, was these video testimonials and photos also created using AI. So can you tell me a bit more about those?
Yeah, so what the scammers realize is that for someone to believe that they're really buying a car, that's going to be much more believable if they see other people that have gone through the same process and have been successful with it. So they're actually going out and using AI imagery of people, and they're doing full videos where these people are talking about how great the experience was, how quickly the car arrived, how in great condition it was, and how great the customer service was. So these are actually non-existent people that have never bought a car, and they are just propping up these AI scammers' ruse against consumers. So these AI deepfakes are highly realistic. I've seen them, and I would be fooled if I didn't know it was a scam myself.
So it's clear how this impacts consumers. In some cases, they're out thousands and thousands of dollars. But what does this mean for dealerships?
What it means for dealerships is it's quite a reputational hit. And I'll give you some examples. Some of these dealerships that have been hit with this scam have experienced consumers walking into the dealership demanding, "Where's my car? I mailed you, I wire transferred you $40,000 and I never got it." So they're going to the dealerships extremely angry that they haven't received what they paid for. In some cases, they're threatening to sue the dealerships. In other cases, these consumers who have been scammed are going on to Yelp and Google and posting very negative reviews, which is hurting the dealer's reputation online. So it's a lot of reputational risk and even some legal risk to these dealerships, because these consumers are very angry and taking it out on the real dealership when it's actually a scammer who's operating, overseas, that's doing all these scams.
This reputational risk, can that translate to lost sales? We've all seen Facebook posts and stuff go viral, even if it's just like viral in your hometown. Like, I'm sure these things can get a lot of traction.
Yeah, for sure. If you read some of these Google reviews, these people talk about how much money they've lost and how it's a big scam. And as a consumer, when you're looking to make a big purchase, you'll often go to Google reviews and make sure that you're not going to get scammed. this could definitely lead to lost sales for these dealerships if they're being cloned and if consumers are losing money. It could certainly hurt their business.
And I'm sure it doesn't help that some people already feel quite distrustworthy of car dealerships.
That's right. It's one of those things. There's a lot of dealerships out there. Overwhelming majority are honest and are never going to scam a consumer. It's a few bad apples that have given the industry maybe a bad name. But the infiltration of these scammers is just going to make that worse for sure.
And so you said it's often these like scam groups based in like Russia and other countries. So it's not just like one person sitting in Ohio. This is like really sophisticated organized crime.
This is sophisticated organized criminals. Like I'd call them more on the hackers. They're more like cyber attackers and cyber hackers because they're using more sophisticated techniques. I've interacted with several of these scammers who have sent me deepfake photos of themselves. They have sent a photo of themselves standing in front of the tractor that they want to sell me with my name on it and the date. They've sent me their driver's licenses. They've sent me pictures of the tractor on a trailer. They've sent me, forged documentation that shows like how great of a condition the tractor or the car is in. All of this, when I run it through analysis, is all deepfakes and AI generated. But this is not one person sitting in Ohio. This is an organized group that I think is stealing millions of dollars from Americans every month.
And so in the report you outlined, some of the key maybe little tells of these websites or these scams. Can you walk me through some of those, like how to spot them?
Yeah, some of the things that you're going to see on every single website is the first is a 14-day money back guarantee. They're going to buy it back. So even if the car gets shipped to you and you see the car and you're just not completely happy, they're going to offer to buy that car back within 14 days. So you're under no risk. You'll get all your money back. The second thing is they'll offer what they call a trust kit. And the trust kit, it's a term you'll only find on these fake websites. It doesn't exist anywhere else, but it's the term that they use in all the websites. And what that trust kit really is a full package of all the information about that car that you would want. So it's got like the Carfax report. It's got the VIN report. It talks about the number of miles, the fact it hasn't been salvaged. So they're going to send you this trust kit, which is going to make you trust that the car is in good condition before they send you the car. And then the third thing that they offer on all the websites is a 30-day mechanical warranty. So it's this combination of these three unique things that you won't see on most dealer websites together or at all that they put on every single website. And that's how we were able to kind of fingerprint what these websites look like and find all of them. In fact, every week we find 2 or 3 new ones that are popping up with the same terminology that they're using on all of them.
Yeah, so you said it kind of blew up last year so is it becoming more common, or what is the timeline of this and how has it grown?
These really started to emerge, I'd say, February, March of last year. And it really grew through 2025. And it's somewhat, I'd say, stabilized, meaning that we're seeing about the same number of new websites pop up as websites that fall off. So I think it's somewhat stabilized. I think what's changed is these websites continually they're getting better and better at refining the way they use these deepfakes and make the deepfake images better. So they're more likely to fool a consumer now as they kind of improve. When they see something fail, they improve upon that. They use AI to perfect it. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. And, what can a dealership do if they go online and see that their website has been spoofed?
So they can immediately report that to the FTC. It's always a good idea to report any sort of scam or fraud to the FTC. That gets the government to basically register it, investigate it if it's part of a larger scheme, and then take more action at a kind of a government level. The second thing they can do is contact the website administrators of those sites, inform them that it's an impersonation scam, and request that the website be taken down. The third thing that they can do is on their own website, they can place a warning that, beware of impersonators that are impersonating us. So they can take measures like that to try to, number one, inform the government, take down the websites, and inform their consumers. Those are all things that they can do to make sure that consumers are not getting harmed.
Since the scammers are most often based out of the U.S., is there much legal recourse? Like, is anyone going to get in trouble with this, or is the website just going to get taken down?
There is legal recourse if the cases get large enough, which is why the reporting to the FTC is important, is because that gets the notice of the FBI and law enforcement to look at the commonalities. And if indeed this is a international crime gang that's stolen millions of dollars from Americans, it's more likely to get their attention, and they will be able to take some enforcement action against them. But in most cases, all scams, even beyond this, most criminals will never do any time, which is why consumers, dealers, and businesses kind of need to protect themselves. There's simply not enough law enforcement to go around to prosecute all these scammers and criminals that are operating all over the world now.
Is there anything a dealership can do to prevent this from happening to them?
I think there is. My recommendation would be, if you're a dealership, is put up a website. If you don't have a website, you want some online presence, because these scammers are looking for dealerships that don't have websites, because then they can stand in and create the website on behalf of the dealership and reroute their customers to them. If you don't have a website in your dealership, I'd recommend that you put up a website, even if it's just something to have your phone number, your hours, and your location, so that you don't get impersonated.
You can read all of our own Page Hodders reporting on these scams and how dealerships are dealing with them at autonews.com. That's Daily Drive for today. I'm Kellen Walker. Thanks to Automotive News executive producer Jake Neer, as well as our own Lawrence Iliff, Hans Greimel, and Lindsay Van Hully for their reporting for today's podcast. You can get the latest news on cybersecurity, autonomous vehicles, and everything happening in the auto industry at autonews.com. Come back tomorrow for a conversation with Cox Automotive's Skylar Chadwick about how dealerships are growing fixed ops revenue.
We're seeing those customers drop off and servicing their vehicle at that year 2 mark. And I think that's really concerning to me.
We'd love to hear from you. Let us know what you think of the show and the topics we covered today. Send us an email at dailyDrive@autonews.com or leave us a voicemail at 313-444-2774. And if you enjoyed the podcast, remember to like, leave a review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.